Okay, guys. So I first want to talk about why we do a Tuesday update call. Like, where did this come from? So the first 6 or 7 years of my career, I showed up every day and just reacted all day, fought fires. I generally had one phone on this year and another phone on this year, and I'm answering emails the minute that they come up. And I get to the end of the day, and how do we know if we won the day or lost the day? Right? I didn't ever have time blocking. I didn't ever have theme days. I really believe that being a good loan officer meant that I was reacting all the time and being super fast and available. While it's important to be fast and available, what's more important is what activities do we need to do every single week that drive our business forward, that allow us to prospect, that allow us to be salespeople and live in green time. So this concept of a Tuesday update call was basically put together to say, hey, I'm going to proactively reach out every Tuesday to give you an update on your loan, both to the listing agent, the buyer's agent, and the buyer. So every Tuesday, you will always know what's going on. And then when you call them and say, hey, this is Amanda, I'm calling for your Tuesday update call, you keep branding it further and further and further. What this does is it's small kept promises. So it builds trust with the borrower and the agent. Number two, it gives you a reason every week to have a sales call. This is not just a call where you're saying appraisal's in, appraisal's out, need this document, need that document. They need to trust that your team is so dialed in because you have your regular pipeline meeting, because you've got your technology, because you've got your updates, that this call is allowing you to go deeper on a sales call and uncover opportunities for a current client referral and or for an appointment with that agent to help them grow their business. The other thing it's doing is it stops a lot of the calls coming into you. If you build this regularity with people, they will stop calling you to say, is the appraisal in? Is the appraisal ordered? What's going on? Because often they will say, oh, I'll just wait for Tuesday. I know I'm going to get a Tuesday update call. The last thing is one of the top complaints with borrowers is that they don't know what's going on, that their loan is off somewhere, they're super nervous, their life is on hold, and they don't know what the status is. Same thing with listing agents. I can't tell you how many times listing agents are like, wow, you're going to call every single week. Like no one ever keeps me informed. So this is part of the wow process. It's part of selling and it's part of keeping you in green time so that you're not jumping from, update to update as they come. Now, keep in mind, several things have to happen in order to be good at Tuesday updates. Number one, you've got to be organized. So on Monday, you've got to have a pipeline meeting that is highly focused, that everybody knows and shows up on time. You pour into your processor, you ask them about their life and their weekend, you give them honor, love, all those things because they're a vital, important part of your team. The second thing is that processor is coming to the table knowing that we're going to go through loans, loan by loan by loan, and say exactly where the status is. But also the processor is putting those notes in Loan Hub and checking the box that it's going to update the next step in Salesforce. And this is really important. Now, I will tell you, if you don't run your business consistently, the processors will get out of the habit of doing this. Why? Because they're reacting 24/7 and nonstop. So as a loan officer, it's our job to be a leader and say, hey, this is part of my promises and my process to both the customers and the agents, which is why we need to have this regular pipeline meeting where we all come together, we have the notes, and then on Tuesday, we can bang out really efficient, high value, productive Tuesday updates. So when you have the next step in Salesforce, Tuesday morning, you can come in on these meetings and you can literally go loan by loan on your loan status update report or your pipeline report, and you can click update agent. When you click the update agent button, it'll go directly to the agent an email that says, here's the latest update on 1234 Main Street, the Johnson file, and it'll tell them what that update is. Again, you are building a brand where people can trust and rely on how you communicate and how you work your business. In the beginning, people choose you because they like you. Overall, they stay with you because they know that it's predictable how you work and they can count on it and trust on it. They stay with you because of the process. So you come in, you hit update agent, update agent, update agent, update agent, and all those emails are going out. And you can work with your processor on what these status things say, right? Because this is agent focused. So you always want to make sure it starts with the date, like 11/20 was yesterday. And then I would put capital TU for Tuesday update, so that when you go in there, you can see if the next step is the one that you want to deliver to the agent or not. You also may want to edit it because maybe it's really long and you know that if it's too long, it'll fall out of what's allowed in that next step bucket. Also, something may have just come in, like the borrower might have just sent their tax return in right before you're going to send out that Tuesday update note. So you might update it. But the point of a Tuesday update is to connect and let people know we are still on time. Okay. So that Tuesday update call scripting to a borrower is going to say, hey, Desiree, this is Shayla over at Guild Mortgage. How are you? Hey, I'm just calling you with your Tuesday update. How are you today? Are you excited about the house? I can't wait to give you this update. And then here's where we're at. Listen, we still have a closing date of December 8th. As of now, we are on track to make your December 8th closing date. We have already been approved through underwriting. As you know, the processor's waiting on a couple things from the appraiser to be corrected and to get back in. She's also requested a couple items that I know you're working on with her. But as of right now, we are on track to close on time. Hey, Desiree, how are we doing so far for you? And you pause and wait. And then Des says, wow, you guys have been amazing. I feel like I'm informed. I know what's going on. Okay, great. Because we are always working for that 5-star review. But more importantly, we want you to feel so comfortable that you would refer us to your grandparents, to your coworkers, that you would feel safe and feel good to put your name on the line to refer us. Pause again. And then depending on what Tuesday update call it is, some people would coach you to say, ask every single week for a current client referral. Hey, do you know anybody at work right now that's been talking about wanting to buy a house? Do you know anybody who's like 35, maybe just had a kid, getting married, that should be thinking about buying a house or starting to plan for a year out? Hey, do you know anybody from college that has been talking about wanting to buy a house? It doesn't even have to be in the state of Nevada. What I'm doing is I'm teaching you guys to ask for something very specific. If you don't ask for specific, if you say, do you know anyone? The subconscious brain cannot go to anyone. The subconscious brain can go to, do you know an engineer that lives in South Reno? Boom, it'll find it quickly. Do you know somebody who's 35, just got married and had a baby? Boom, it'll go somewhere quickly. So as you're asking for referrals, make sure it's specific in nature. Do you know anybody that, God forbid, went through a divorce? I've just been helping couples that have gone through that, and I've had really good success. It's a challenging situation, but I'm really good at it. And I want you to feel comfortable referring that type of client to me. Okay. So you've done your Tuesday update with the borrower. Is there anything else that we can help you with? No. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. Well, we will talk to you next Tuesday, if not sooner. Now, if you train your processors to make that call, I'm okay with the borrowers getting a call from the processor. I'm okay with the borrowers getting a call from a loan officer assistant, because ultimately we are wanting to make sure we've got good customer service. We're staying on track and on time with closing. The other thing is, oftentimes, no matter how many ask for current client referrals, they just don't happen during the transaction because people are stressed, they're busy, they're distracted, and they're really not thinking about anybody else but themselves. Occasionally, though, you will have that mouthpiece, that raving fan, that person that is going through it and talking about it on social and talking about it to everybody everywhere. So you'll know who to invest that time with on your Tuesday updates. Okay. Number 2, to set this up properly, you have to tell the listing agent and the buyer's agent at the very beginning of the transaction what you're going to be doing. Okay. So ring, ring. Here's a congratulations call. Hey, Carrie, this is Shayla over at Guild Mortgage. How are you? Great. Listen, I'm so excited we get to work together on your listing over at 123 Main Street. I'm the loan officer for the Johnsons that just went under contract. Pause. Oh, yay. I'm glad you're calling. Hey, listen, I like to discuss the details up front so I know if there's anything special I got to look out for. Do you mind if we spend a few minutes just going through what I see here on the contract to make sure we're all on the same page? Sure. Listen, I'm showing that we're closing on this deal on December 22nd. Looks like the buyer's going to be doing a home inspection, a pest inspection. I did not need an appraisal on this one. I've got an appraisal waiver, so I've not ordered an appraisal. We're good there. This file was already approved in underwriting ahead. So we're in really great shape on this file. But I will continue to keep you updated throughout. Before I go into my process, is there anything I should know about the seller? Is the seller going to be out of town? Are we dealing with a power of attorney? I see that we're working here with Randy Bennett over at First Centennial. Okay, great. Are all the utilities on the house? Has the house been vacant? Is everything ready to go? Yes. Okay, anything else that I can know that can help me make sure this is smooth? Anything that your sellers are really worried or funky about that I can make sure to keep you apprised of? Nope, the sellers are great, or yes, they're divorced, or one's going out of the country, or on and on and on, or they're in a trust, or who knows what happens, right? But you're differentiating yourself already out the bat, and you're showing that you're a person who's taking charge and in control, okay? They did what they needed to do to list the house and market it and stage it and sell it. We're the ones that's now the quarterback. We are in control. We need them to feel safe, like we got this. Okay. So let me just explain how I work, Chris. Every Tuesday, I'm going to be reaching out to give you a Tuesday update call. Way I like to work is make sure you're proactively updated every week so you know exactly where we're at on the loan process. My goal is to always make sure we close on time and smooth. In fact, wherever possible, I like to get the loan docs to title at least 3 days in advance so that we just kill it and we close smooth and there's low stress for everybody in the process. Now you kind of pause because I promise you most of the time they will say, wow, that's amazing. Okay. And then a lot of times you could say, you don't get Tuesday update calls from other loan officers. And they usually will be like, no, nobody calls me. Nobody informs me. I'm always in the dark. And then you want to say, well, that's good. I'm glad the bar is so low because this is the only way I know how to function. This is the way I like to roll and how I like to work. Here's the deal. I would love to prove to you that this is how we work and have a great transaction. And Carrie, if we do, can I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee and come meet with you? I'd love to do business if we have a successful transaction together. So you are pre-closing them for a meeting on the very first call. If I do this, can I earn that? And almost nobody will deny you at that point because they want you to perform and close the loan on time. So if I do the updates, if I close on time, if I close smooth, can I earn the right to buy you a cup of coffee? Generally, they'll say yes. Great. The next time we'll be speaking is on Tuesday for a Tuesday update. Is it okay to call you or do you want it text or emailed? Find out how they want to be communicated with. Do you have an assistant or transaction coordinator I could be updating as well? I mean, guys, it's just a wow all the way around. And then when you call for the Tuesday update, hey, Katie, this is Shayla over at Guild Mortgage. I'm calling you for your Tuesday update call on 123 Main Street. I told you I was going to do it. Now I'm doing it. Hey, we're still on track to close on December 22nd. I know the buyers are working on their inspections. As I told you, we do not need an appraisal on this one. The loan is already approved. We've actually gathered the couple conditions that we're submitting back in. We are killing it over here. The borrower's so excited about this house. How's it going for you? How are the sellers doing? How's moving out? How's that all going? By the way, how's business? You got other listings? You seeing some movement in the market? Is there anything I could be doing to help you? You hosting open houses? Anything you got going on that I could help you with? No? Great. Okay, well, I'll be talking to you next week for a Tuesday update call. In the meantime, have your notifications set in the system so that when there's file notifications like the appraisal's in, the appraisal's out, the loan's approved, they're getting those real-time updates as well. So there's more to break down in this, but that's essentially what we're doing for the Tuesday update. The best dashboard to look at your pipeline updates is this one that I'm putting in the chat. And then this will show you right in the top left what needs to be called. Or you could scroll down and look at your pipeline. So you could look at your projected closings. There's different reports, however you like to look at it. So you could look at your projected closings report, and that will give you a pipeline. You could look at just this call list saying what deals have not had a Tuesday call logged. So every time you make a Tuesday update, I would log it, so that now you could go back through that loan and say, yep, I did it every single Tuesday. Also, your goal with these reports is to have everything say 0, that you don't have any more Tuesday updates to do, that you don't have any refi updates to do, that your loans are all tracking the milestones to close on time and close smooth. And then finally, if you want to do it from a list view, you could go over to the list views on the far right, and click the reports there. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to take 30 minutes. 28 minutes now. We're going to end at 10:45, and let's see how many we can knock out. Please report your calls and talk tos. And if you got any referrals or booked any appointments, remember Tuesday updates are sales calls. We are doing a sales call. So find a way to turn it into a sales call and make it productive. And let's go.